So this is called Snow Demo Ultimate Freeriding. I actually I had found this game. I think it might even be out now at this point. I had found this game, and then immediately after, Raz, the popular video essayist, then highlighted it, and I was really pissed off because I wanted to check it out anyways. But it seems like there's only score attack available in the demo, and I think it's just like a chill free-riding snowboarding game, which sounds like it'll be a great time if I can figure it all out. Oops. All right. Are they gonna? Okay, good. I was really hoping they were gonna show me the instructions again. All right, so it's jump, crouch, trick spin, X glide, and then hard turns with trigger. So I always had my bad habit when it came to like Tony Hawk Pro Skater is that I would always hold down the crouch button. Whoops. And so I like, which is not what you're supposed to do. I always, for some reason, I thought it was like you'd go faster if you held the crouch button down. But in reality, it kind of just screws you up. This game's so pretty. What does glide do? Oh. That's fair. That's stupid. I want to give it some more time, but I'm not convinced that there's more. Oh wait, no, this is score attack, right? So there's that meter in the top right is going to be the bottom of the hill. So I think at the very least I should make sure to get to the bottom of the hill at least once. I do love these trees though. They're you know, it's almost like a truffula tree from the Lorax. Oh, I thought I'd be able to correct that. And I like how the colors are in this game, which is very pretty. I'm not right now. I'm just focused on getting to the bottom of the hill, I think, rather than doing tricks. You know, the one complaint that I maybe have, oops, is just the ambiance. You know, I don't know if you can hear this. I also have no idea how the stream sounds right now. I think I had balanced it correctly. If there are people chatting, I would ask them, but it's okay. We're all just trying stuff. But I think what I was saying was just some of the sound effects don't quite feel right. I think it's a lot of the snow is very consistent. The stream sounds good. Oh, hey, thank you, and thanks for sticking around. Also, I'm glad it sounds good. Sound is not my forte, but yeah, like I was saying, there's something about just like the very consistent snow sound effects that are kind of getting to me. Oh, double backflip. Yeah, so you make a good point, right? Like it's for me, I don't know if it's weird to like wrap up a studying stream or work for me with playing games. I'm sure some of the demos I'll pick are not going to be as calming as this one, but for my lunch break, it's seems like it'd be good. And I wanted to check out some Steam demos. So there's a rabbit. What does that mean? That rabbit's gonna get me killed. And so, yeah, I'm not sure it's something that I want to try at the very least. And it's more engaging. You know, the problem with work streams, for just sort of building a community or whatever, is that you've got maybe 5 minutes of every 30 minutes, at least in my case, that you're actually able to kind of talk and make a case for why people should check you out. And so at the very least, this sort of increases my chances of getting people to even understand how I exist and what the stream is like. But I don't know how much that matters in the long run, right? I do the streams just for myself. But anyways, gosh, there's something always about these. I need to stop screwing around. There's something about this snow shader. There's a similar shader in Indica, an incredible game that everyone should check out, that has this exact same sort of sparklies. I'm going to hit a tree. So I don't know. I won't be able to stop at all. But if you, I hope the compression isn't getting them on the stream. But there's these little sparklies in the snow, and it's like my favorite thing about snow shaders and sand shaders. I think Journey did a very similar thing. That shouldn't have counted as a death. But I love these snow sparklies. It's like my favorite. I've always wanted to work on a game that had sort of this stylized snow or sand, just so I could write a shader that does this. Because I'm pretty sure it's got to be pretty simple to do. But it's just like one of my favorite effects of like regular sort of environment shaders. It captures the essence of snow so much. Oh, please. And like it's I don't know, it's a small touch that I really like. And the same is true. Ooh. And the same is true of, I don't know, I love the small touches in video games. It's the kind of thing that you see a lot in indie games when developers, or maybe not indie games, but like solo developer games or sort of hobbyist games, where developers are often just trying to keep themselves entertained long enough to finish it. And so you end up seeing these games that, or these features that would otherwise not exist in sort of a game that you're really prioritizing other stuff. And so, oh, I did it! Finally got to the end. And so there's another thing in here. When I died, there was, yeah, right here you can see. I'm pointing at my screen, but obviously you can't see. But there's a little drone that like represents the camera that follows you, and that's just like, I don't know. I love little touches like those. Almost like, I mean, right, obviously the Lakitu in the 3D Mario games is very much like that. So it's not exactly an original idea, but boy, is it a feature that I love. I love those little touches, and it brings so much charm to a game. Those like needless things. I should. All right. So, anyways, I need to try to figure out how to do tricks better, because I managed to get to the bottom once, and so now it's trying to figure out tricks. Because for me, you know, I played what is it? It's not SSX Tricky. It's, God, what was it called? There's this PlayStation 2 snowboarding game. I think it was called like Cool Borders or something. And the game is a lot of fun. And for some reason, I need to play it again. I still have it all, and I need to just figure out what, like all these arcade style games, I end up doing the stupid thing where you just sort of get in the air and then you mash a bunch of buttons and directions and hope that a combo exists. I was playing Tony Hawk 1 on my PSP recently, and that game, actually going through the story, like forces you to understand combos and stuff, and like that really made me reckon with my childhood memories of like just hitting buttons in the arcade mode. You love games where you can notice the love and care? Yeah, man, it's the biggest treat is those sorts of features. Like it's why in the new Indiana Jones game, I went through and there are these sections where there's all these posters in like the college, and I loved reading through all of them because they're just like it's stuff that no one would really care about if it didn't exist, but the fact that it does exist is great, and the fact that it's someone made it. And someone had to think about it, and then they had to make it. And it was like about like choir practice or something stupid. And it was just like, oh, it fills me with so much joy. Even for like a big game like that. There's a lot of features in that Indiana Jones game that actually reminds me of these sort of smaller experimental things. Oh, I'm screwed. And so it's all of those are just, they're such a treat. I mean, and as a developer myself, it's like, I know how easy it is for those features to just get buried in a project. Like it's right, bug fixes or core stuff are obviously more important to focus on, but like you need to have someone who is really all about like advocating for those sorts of features and understands the value of them, to like make those a reality. And I think that adds so much. You enjoy the finding. That's something that I think hasn't happened in a while, or like I feel like it happened more often, like finding pictures of devs or pets. Maybe it's more popular in the indie space, but like I feel like back in like PlayStation era and all that, you'd find Xbox games, you'd find like those sorts of pictures a lot, because it was a lot more acceptable to just like use realistic photos in games that are kind of trying to be realistic but didn't quite succeed, and those are always a treat too. I think there's also sort of a different relationship that devs have with their players now, that it's not quite the same. There's a lot of hate towards AAA developers, and so to some extent I'm sure there's a little bit of fear against putting your face on something, which is a bummer, because I think developers should always be recognized. So I hope in the indie space it's a bit better. It's impossible to play a ton of indie games, and I could be doing better, but it is yeah, that's another like great example. Whoops. I feel like those should be grindable. Those feel like they should be grindable. Maybe I'm not pressing the button. Hold on. Let's see if I can figure it out. Those might just be insta kills. It feels counterintuitive. What time is it? I need to keep an eye on the time. I think it's only been like 15 minutes. I might wrap up this demo and move on to the other one I downloaded, which is like a drifting game, I think. Because I'm not sure that there's much more to this than what I'm seeing, which isn't a problem. I actually really, if I was a bit better or spent some more time with it, I think I would really like it. And as a demo, it gets the idea across very well. There's like there's an ancient itch.io game that was just sort of like biking down a mountain. And this reminds me of that for some reason, where it's just very meditative. I think the game's out, and I didn't actually see what exists in it more than this and maybe a couple other game modes, but there's something to say about benefiting from like a more extrinsic reward system. Just like a couple, right? The Tony Hawk games are a great example, because it is like a very similar, just like a really basic trick system, and then they just by adding like those level goals for getting different things, it forced you to engage with the systems a bit differently, and there was kind of a goal at the end. Whoa. And so that all worked together to give the game a bit more body. And so like the thing that I worry about this game, which isn't necessarily a problem that an indie game needs to solve, is just whether or not it has enough body to kind of prove that it's more than just a trick system, or to kind of explore the trick system fully through sort of requesting the player to do specific things. But oops, I got distracted by the bunny. But I mean, these mountains are gorgeous. I really love the art style of this, and so this is very successful on basically all fronts, and especially as a demo. Like, I'm intrigued.